Hello viewers, once again we are still on the concept of trigonometry, and today we are talking about sine rule and cosine rule. So without wasting any time, we want to know when are we supposed to use these two. These two rules are used to solve triangles that are not right angled. Maybe I put that one down. They are used to solve triangles that are not right angled. To solve triangles simply means you are finding a missing side or a missing angle, either of the two. So we are used to saying that whenever we have a right angled triangle, then we stick to these three trigonometric ratios, where if we have theta here, this one will be its opposite, this one will be its adjacent, this one will be its hypotenuse. Therefore we say sine of theta is opposite side divided by hypotenuse, cosine of theta is adjacent side divided by hypotenuse, tangent of theta is given by opposite side divided by adjacent. That is only when you are talking about right angled triangle. But what if you are given a triangle that is not right angled? Right angled means one of the angles is 90 degrees. Sometimes you might be given a different type of triangle where none of the angles is 90 degrees. So in that case, we bring in this, either cosine rule or sine rule, one of them. So let's talk about sine rule. So sine rule, when you have a triangle like this one, and this triangle, there is an angle A here, there is an angle B here, there is an angle C there. I'm using these vertex points to indicate, to represent angles. This is angle A, this is angle B, this is angle C. Then from angle A to the opposite side, look at the movement of my hand. We have small letter A representing the dimension of this length. You see that? Then from angle B cross to the opposite side, we have small letter B representing the dimension of this length. Then from angle C, you cross to the opposite side this way, we have small angle C representing the dimension of this length. So sine rule is written like this: side A over sine of angle A equals side B divided by sine of angle B. It is also equal to side C divided by sine of angle C. That is how you write sine rule. That is how you write down the sine rule. Hope you can see it properly. That is how you write down the sine rule. So when do we use this? When do we use this? So when to use the sine rule. The first scenario is when we use the sine rule when two angles and one side are known. Let me give a simple example. Very simple example here. Now in this case you're told to find x, that is the length of PR. The length of PR is x. And this is the information you're given. We have the two angles like I wrote here. Two angles are known and one side is also given. So how do you interpret this? Based on the sine rule, you pick an angle and check on the opposite side if there is a side given. So value of the side is given, like for example 8 centimeters is opposite to 40 degrees, x is opposite to 70 degrees. So using sine rule, you say side side over sine of the angle, side over sine of the opposite angle, this way. Look at the movement of my hand. Sine of 70 equals to side over the sine of its opposite angle. Look at the movement of my hand. So that's 8 over sine of 40. So you can simplify this and say x times sine of 40, x times sine of 40 equals to 8 times sine of 70. So what is the sine of 40? Sine of 40 is 0.6428 approximately times x. Then sine of 70 is so we have 8 times sine of 70, which is 0.9397 approximately. So 0.6428 x equals to, you multiply this by 8, you get 7.5175, something like that. Divide both sides by this value, x will be what? X will be 11.69 centimeters. So that is the first case or the first scenario when you are supposed to use the sine rule. Two angles given and one of the sides.